Good afternoon, everyone. Thanks for joining us. Hope you enjoyed lunch. Today we're diving into the Bonobos journey. It is an impressive one. I'm sure someone here or on the live stream is probably wearing Bonobos. I know at least 2 people here who are. But it all started with a pair of chinos. So Evan, to start, I would love to hear more about the Bonobos trajectory and unique position in the market.
Yeah, so Bonobos is a digitally native menswear brand. It was created when founders Andy Dunn and Brian Spaley realized that men were in need of better fitting pants. They coined the phrase diaper butt, which I think visually really tells you what they were dealing with. And really what was unique is the fit architecture. So we have 6 fits currently, and it's meant to fit all different kinds of body types and ensure that no matter how you fit, Bonobos will fit you. This obviously expanded into shirting and suiting as well. So our full assortment follows this fit architecture. The next expansion that we went through were our guide shops. This is a pretty unique experience. It's kind of like a showroom. You'll go in, get fitted by our guides, and then from there, we'll set that you order your clothes and they'll send you the clothes. You don't leave with anything. But what's special about it are the guides. They're truly fit experts, not just experts of the clothing. So it's amazing. Like when people walk in, they can literally look at you and know what fit bracket you fall into. So they're very skilled, it's unique training, and a market differentiator for Bonobos. Honestly though, fit has always been our core. It's been our message and market consistently. So really where we've evolved is in our marketing strategy, and that's what I'm here to talk to you about today.
I love it. All right, so let's talk about where Bonobos is today and that market differentiation. We know that it works based on your insanely high retention rates, and now you're on a mission to attract a whole new generation of younger customers. So for background for everyone here, could you share a little bit more about your core customer and the target customer you're trying to attract?
Yeah, so you mentioned it. We know the product works based on our retention rate, and we have a loyal customer. It's 35%, which is very high. We're very proud of that. But we had a very specific core customer, and it's something that we learned that the core customer was 35 to 55, and they almost became loyal to the brand when they were younger and then grew with our brand. There was a massive gap in that 25 to 32 area. So while we still love our core customer, we want to continue to go after them and ensure that they're happy with the brand, there's this massive opportunity for us to go after a younger demo. And the opportunity there with the loyalty and everything I just referenced, this could build huge LTVs. So even if the 25-year-olds, aren't spending like the 45-year-olds, at least they have a brand that they know and love, and when they are ready, they may increase their household income. We know that the product works and they'll be loyal to Bonobos.
So with the evolution of the brand and everything you spoke about, can you tell us a little bit about how the marketing mix has evolved with time through our partnership and also a shift towards a more full funnel approach?
Yeah, so this is a great story about Bonobos and Tenuity, honestly. We started partnering with Tenuity back in 2020, October, so towards the end of peak pandemic times. And I think all the performance marketers in the room probably know that that time was very DR focused. Can a dollar get me a dollar? Trying to stay afloat, to be honest. And from that, we started to evolve, and Tenuity really helped us right-size that part of our media mix. We really scaled out our search. We found more efficiencies. They made it what it is today, and it's a massive channel for us. It drives 40% of our revenue paid search. So what that did was give us the freedom to start to test an upper funnel. We knew brand building was important, so we dipped our toes in it with some tactical golf campaigns. I think something that was really valuable about this is it was a specific product within our assortment, so it was very easy to measure. Pushing our golf product really allowed us to understand what the upper funnel impact was on sales, and we saw massive success. 300% growth year over year in the golf category. I won't take full credit for that because it obviously blew up in the pandemic, but we definitely drove a lot of great growth in that category. And then from there, we got that belief from our leadership team that this is something that is not only working for us, but necessary to grow the brand. And we were able to secure, with the help of Tenuity, a 100% increase in our upper funnel investments. And now we're in this place where we have a robust media mix and an always-on upper funnel strategy.
I know that there was also a lot of work that was done on the audience insights and consumer research side of things. So can you tell us a little bit about how that shaped the current strategies that are in place today?
Yeah, so I mentioned the opportunity about the younger customer, but I also mentioned we have no experience going after these folks, and we don't really know them at all. So we had to do a lot of research to understand who that customer was. This included surveying, interviews, pretty much everything. And what we wanted to learn was not only for our media mix, but what do they care about? What don't they care about? What might they not like about our brand, as well as, where are they consuming content and what content are they consuming? So this wasn't only like a media pivot, it was a massive strategy shift, and the research really fueled our success across the board. From a media perspective, I think the most tangible win was actually the personas that we built off the research. So a few interests for the customer. We call them the style curious guy. I think I forgot to tell you guys that. But they essentially want to take style risks, but not necessarily all the way. Like Met Gala, they want to kind of do like a little nudge. So they're style curious. They're interested in certain sports, gaming. They care about causes, things like that. So everybody probably knows how platforms work in terms of targeting. We created these personas in each platform: TikTok, Meta, YouTube, OTT. And we saw the results we wanted from an awareness and consideration perspective, saw a great lift there across multiple platforms. But what was a really awesome win was even in our DR campaigns, we figured, why not test them, right? This is not necessarily our goal with this audience at this current point, but let's see if that interest is already there. And we saw really strong efficiencies from both the conversion rate and a ROAS perspective for that younger audience. So we knew that that strategy was working at a very, very early time.
Speaking of measurement, how do you measure the impact of your upper funnel marketing efforts? And are there any particular challenges that you've faced in that area that you can share with the audience?
Yeah, so measurement's really challenging, and I think the most important thing to keep in mind is that no solution is perfect, and you have to find the right solution for you. So some brands might be very DR focused at the time, and that's probably more of like an MTA that you want to understand, and that's probably as far upper funnel as you're going to get. But as I mentioned, we were really expanding, so MMM was right for us. And what we did with Tenuity was we ensured that their MMM can deliver helpful insights on our 4 key KPIs, which were e-com revenue, new customer acquisition, awareness, and then in-store revenue. And I think a really big win within the measurement is exactly what I just touched on, like no solution is perfect. So we also partnered with the Tenuity team to run incrementality studies, halo traffic analyses. And what's important about that is it doesn't make you sort of abandon ship if MMM is telling you that a channel's not right for you. You have another opportunity like, okay, maybe the alarm bells are ringing a little bit on this channel. Let's really dig into this channel and do some specific tests and see if it's really not for us and why it's not right for us. It could be platform, messaging, targeting. So I think that double click when something's not working in your primary measurement really set us up for success and allowed us to put the right media mix in place for ourselves.
One of the things that you just spoke to as a primary KPI is that in-store piece. So can you share some insights into the online-offline connection and the success that we've seen with the OTT campaigns driving in-store? Yeah,
I think a big learning for this portion is we're 80% e-com revenue. We don't have a huge store business. We feel it's a very big growth opportunity for us. It's something we plan to lean into. But at the time of launching this MMM, it was probably like a tertiary goal for ourselves. But we knew the MMM capabilities, and we decided, let's ensure that we're measuring this and at least getting a readout. And what that did was build us a foundation for when we do want to lean into these stores, we at least know what channels work hard for us, even if it's not exactly how we're optimizing our media at this current time. And we had a really, I don't want to call it a surprise, but I was a little bit surprised by the results. Streaming was more efficient from a ROAS perspective in driving in-store revenue compared to your paid social platforms, which is a great win. And now we kind of know like that channel can drive that arm of the business if we are in fact trying to push omni-channel.
All right, so I know that you've talked a lot about a lot of great wins, but what are the kind of 3 pieces of advice that you would give to marketers out in the audience who really are looking to win a new generation of customers?
Yeah, so trust your process and strategy. Everybody in the room probably deals with someone in leadership or somebody who's like hoping for results right away. And I think as marketers, we want to see those results right away and get that win. But it's really hard, especially with acquisition. Repetition is so important for acquiring a new customer. Consistency, macroeconomics is very important. So I think like the biggest takeaway for me is to just trust that process. You know, you did your work, you have the data to prove your strategy. Trust that strategy. Not saying, you know, run things into the ground for like a year and a half, but definitely, you know, trust yourself and that you're making the right decisions. And when you do need to pivot, you can do that. Don't be too reactive. The next one is be transparent about your measurement capabilities. So I think it's really important to have a partnership with your leadership team and know what's important to you, what level of granularity do you need for every KPI, and really work with them on pulling together the perfect measurement solution. Well, I just said nothing's perfect, so the ideal measurement solution. And that's what we did with our leadership team, and it really led to, you know, a good balance of like keeping them educated on like, here's what we're trying to do, and here's what's working for us, rather than, you know, sort of like going into one meeting with the leadership team where you're presenting this to them for the first time and they have a million questions on what we're doing. Like, it's very important to make sure that they're locked into the measurement capabilities. And then lastly, I think this is a theme of the day. I've heard it a few times already in different ways, but all failures are positive. I heard a few folks talk about iteration, and that really is important when you're building a media strategy. Not every platform is going to work. Not every ad's going to work. Targeting might not be right. And what that at least is telling you is you now know what not to do. And it's going to refine your approach. And you can test new things and find new opportunities. So while it is tough sometimes to not hit your goals or see red on a chart and things like that, there is always a silver lining there that you have, you know, learned something, and that can inform your future decisions and create a better media mix and approach for yourself.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Evan, for the time today and the partnership. We really appreciate it. We'll be here all afternoon, so please come find us to chat or talk more to Evan about everything he went through today.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.